The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by the hosts are for entertainment purposes only and do not necessarily reflect those of RJV Media Lab, Inc., its affiliates, or sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Them boys, they cutting up.
I say, ladies and gentlemen,
boys and girls,
children of all ages, welcome. I say welcome to another illustrious episode of
Kuttin Up
with your boy D in the place to be.
And your boy Elroy ready for blast off as usual.
And that main man in the cutty with on the ones and twos at that boy C Murder.
See murder.
What it do, my boy? How you feeling this fantastic day?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, but first and foremost, you know, we had a little question and conversation that we had in the last session talking about who is the most clutch when it comes to Mr. Brunson and Mr. Haliburton. And I got to give it to you, man. You know, Brunson is called Mr. Clutch this season. But, you know, Mr. Haliburton was more clutch in the game, and I have to say more clutch in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know he has a better supporting cast. I know I really feel he has a better coach. But be that as it may, at the end of the day, in the fourth quarter, you know, when all else failed, he was there. You know what I'm saying? So I got to give it to you, my G. You know what I'm saying? I got to give it to you, man. I got to 100% agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to keep it 100 because of the actions of the games just passed.
Now, I appreciate that, my boy.
Yeah.
Now, the only reason I took the outlook that I look, now, regardless of the fact of them, they beat the Celtics. We all know that. I know everybody I say what I said because of how, just the fact that we lost. You know what I mean? But I also looked at how we lost. You know what I mean? And I looked at how I feel like people say they won. And I'll always say Boston didn't lose this. They lost it. New York didn't win it. You know, they was the beneficiary of some bad shooting and a little bit of bad coaching. And I still feel like they just stayed in the game, what you're supposed to do, NBA team, no doubt. But I just feel like Indiana had hit their stride, and they played a defense similar to how OKC play. And I know we'll touch on that in a second. That's why I feel like that matchup is going to be better of a matchup than a lot of people think. Now, will it be I don't think it's going to be a big fall off with the ratings. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people saying it's going to be bad ratings because of the small, two small market teams and stuff like that.
But in all fairness,
you know,
I think I said it in a last session or two. Like, I really feel that this is the best matchup in basketball right now because of the way that they play. It's similar to, I guess you can say, college. You just think of a matchup of like Kentucky and Arkansas back in the day, running up and down the floor.
I had to say more or less like a Duke North Carolina matchup if you're gonna put basketball on it, because you got to put two top tiers together.
I mean, either way,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I was just trying to say two teams that like to run up and down the floor, fast pace. You know what I'm saying? Even have big men that are
3-point shooters and everybody stretch the floor.
The floor.
Yeah,
so,
basically new basketball. You know what I'm saying? You have new basketball.
Each one has a new superstar. Haliburton on the rise and SGA newfound MVP. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
but not to jump to that, let me finish these Knicks off. I gotta finish these Chumps.
Let's go.
I gotta finish off.
Let's go.
Because I told you, all you Knicks fans, y'all listen to me real quick. I told you, little light-skinned cats don't win unless they Steph Curry. He's the only exception to the fact. And I ain't got nothing against light-skinned, bro, but I'm just saying, go back and look at history. John Stopps. Tell me one else that didn't. There was somebody else that won. Fred VanVleet won, but hell, he had Kawhi Leonard and Pascal Siakam.
But he won, though.
But he had some more brothers. And Cat ain't what? Boy, please. And the coach didn't help him because he didn't put him in a better position because he has to learn to stretch his lineup out and start playing playoff minutes. And I don't believe in saying that. I don't even honestly say that he had to stretch his lineup out. I just think he had to just not play him that much.
Well, since you brought up the coach, do you think, in your opinion, that he's the coach that's going to get New York back to that prominence of being a contender year in and year out? Like, you know, and possibly being a champion.
Now you added that last point. I would have told you yes until you added that last point. Can I get them to be consistent and be where they're there? Yeah, because you see there now they're consistently there. 2 years in a row, that's back-to-back. Let's see if 3 years can make a trend. So if he's able to do that, then, you know, you'll see that. But if not, I don't think he's going to be the one to get them a championship. The reason why I say that is because
he don't want
his coaching style, and if he don't coach enough, put enough players in there, because he's going to eventually run everybody to the ground. You know what I mean? So as as the playoffs get deeper and you're playing 42 minutes a game, 44 minutes a game, and God knows that some overtime games go through, then you're playing 6 games, you ain't sweeping everybody. So, and as you can see, I don't know if it's going to change going next year. Once you got deep in the playoffs, you don't get 2 days. Even with travel, you playing the next day. So it's it's more on your body, it's more taxing as you go. And if you ain't playing 8 deep and this team playing 12, playing 10, possibly maybe 11 sometimes, what you gonna do? You know what I mean? It's like eventually it's gonna prevail. You know what I mean? And that's just it.
And I really think that they have a good bench. I mean, honest to God, like
to my Indiana?
No, New York.
I do.
I think what I'm saying, like, I think
PJ Tucker.
I think they have enough players to come off that bench where they can keep the flow going until others are able to rest up.
They ain't got to rest but 2 people. They ain't rest nobody but,
right.
Cat and him.
Well,
you got
technically the whole starting 5, because at the end of the day, all of the starting 5 play a lot of minutes. You know what I'm saying? But when they were in foul trouble, like everybody was saying, they were forced to play others for extra minutes, because at the end of the day, number 23, what's his name? Robinson. We already know.
Mr. Robinson. He
can't shoot, so you already got to keep a flow of folk around him.
But he brings on the offensive rebounding tip. I ain't gonna lie. He a good.
True.
I'll give away 2 or 3 points because he gonna gain you about 12 with them offensive rebounds. So he a nice match. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. So he'll give you that right there.
Yeah,
but the Cam Payne gave him some decent minutes. The other guy, what's the number 2? What's like his number 2? I can't think his name until my tongue. Yeah, he gave him some good, decent minutes. You know what I'm saying?
There was another guy that came off the bench that was shooting threes. You know what I'm saying? I think he had a double-digit number, like 42 or 22, something like that. But he came off the bench, hit a couple of threes here and there. But I know he wasn't a starter, and I know he wasn't getting that many minutes. So, I'm kind of like what Jay Williams was saying. Like, in this era of basketball.
Shamit. You talking about Shamit.
Yeah.
You had McBride, who I was talking about, Deuce McBride.
Shamit.
You know
that boy could shoot in the funeral, boy.
Right. So that's why I said you gotta look at it. Then you didn't play Cam Payne. PJ Tucker, I don't think he got a minute.
Yeah.
So and those players that I feel like could give you good minutes.
PJ Tucker can give you.
He been in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
He a champion.
Right. He can give you something.
Experience.
You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
So I understand you probably got him for veteran benches on the minutes, but veteran minutes on the bench for the kind of composure, but.
You got to play.
You got to give him something.
Basketball.
You got to have some players.
Just like Jay Williams said, it's not about just having players. Like, everybody got players. It's just about developing them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's why you have 82 games in the season. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, no doubt.
Like, I'm just saying, when you have people that are hurt or you just low managed, that's when you play others. You know what I'm saying? And like, you play others in situational, games where it don't mean nothing. Back-to-back nights.
Right.
Play other people, man, so these folk are be used to playing, know what's expected of them when they hit the floor, and they don't lose a beat. And when you get the playoffs, when you reach that pinnacle, you know what I'm saying? You'll trust and have faith in these people to be able to put them out on the floor. You know what I mean?
But Thibodeau always been that type of person, though. You know what I'm saying? That's always been his thing. That
That's
He
why
always coach himself out of stuff because he don't never go deep in his bench. That's why I told him after I was watching how Indiana played them. Indiana played the perfect, had a perfect game plan. Even off makes, whenever even New York made a basket, they was running. They ran all the time. So they was like, let's run. That's why you'll see them hit a three, they'll come back hit a two, come back hit a three. So after so much, they're gonna be so taxing on your body that you're gonna have to start putting them guys in. And as I noticed it to my, I guess it was just me, I saw the lead would get big when Brunson and Cat was in, unless Cat was playing well, because Brunson didn't do nothing. For me, for what people been saying about being clutch, he was crap. He was shitty. I'm gonna be straight up. He didn't give them none of that because when they could have tied it up. Because I'm gonna tell you straight like this, and if we say what you want to, they lost that damn series at game 1.
Everybody
when they lost that one,
threw at Brunson is taller than Brunson, so it was hard for him to shoot.
Man, everybody in the NBA taller than Brunson except some of their kids.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he still knows how to get leverage by moving you, but they were allowing people to play physical this playoff, so by them allowing them to play physical.
LeBron James said it perfectly. I don't know if you be watching his little thing he be doing with Steve Nash. Yeah. He said it because you heard he said he want to do they should at the end of the season and it should be a month for them to plan for the playoffs, because he like, man, this how it go.
Body together.
Yeah, because he like, you gotta understand, regular season you don't play that physical. He says no hand checking, you can't do all that. But now all of a sudden I gotta play 82 games. Then as soon as it kick up, now it's getting extra physical after I done played 82 games. So now it's getting extra physical the whole time. And a lot of teams ain't. That's why you see a lot of injuries in the playoffs now, because they going to let them play in spots. You know what I mean? Because it's on both sides. Some of you, if you cheering for this team, you're going to say it's more on this side. But I'm agreeable enough to say it's on both sides, where, both sides have enough to complain and say that wasn't called. Like when
they won't give them a month, but they can at least.
They should give them I think they should give everybody at least a week. At least I think 2 weeks is too much. But I think a full week, I think that's just enough. 7 days, I'm talking about a complete 7.
Not necessarily.
From the time that you touch down. I ain't talking about with travel. Everybody travel.
2 weeks, because at the end of the day, it's not the best out of 5 anymore. Everything is the best out of 7.
But we still got to keep it to where they don't roll into other seasons. You see what I'm saying? So you can take advantage of your viewership.
Yeah, but I'm also with, at the end of the day, I'm also with the fact of the matter, I'm getting the best out of them when the playoffs do start, because they do have a semi-break. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely understand it. For the product to be better, I can understand what you're saying about that.
Football starts, we still got a month.
That's what I'm saying. You get just about a month.
June.
I'm talking about.
I'm saying the finals is in June, right?
You talking about football?
No, the NBA finals. Is in June.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You got July, football start in August. You know what I'm saying? So technically, you got the Hall of Fame, and you got
bump that. Let's be a whole lot. They're taking more gangster than this. They get a month in between the damn college playoff. What you mean, cuz? You just got about 2 or 3 weeks in between that. Because you got to think about it. Last game of the conference championship is usually
it's about a month for the final.
That's the playoffs. That's when the play. They ain't 4 no more. It's 12. Yeah. So that you get what I'm saying? Because usually you got. Because we know Iron Bowl is on the last weekend, because it's usually my birthday weekend. So it's around Thanksgiving. So we know that's the last weekend in November.
Is the first weekend in December.
First weekend or either the last weekend of November. Either way, because they may give you a time in between how much. Depending on right. So you're probably going to be playing between. So that means from that time right there, which is the first week of December, you don't play another game till January.
I hear what you're saying.
So you getting just about a 3 to 4 week to play a college playoff game. You know what I'm saying? So I think they should get at least maybe a week and a half, depending on the farness of the travel and things like that. You know what I mean? Or, you know what? You know what you should do? Boom. Make it to where the earlier, if you sweep a team, you get to sit, you know what I mean? You get the date, you get the longer date. So the better you play, the more rest you playing for. Right. Make it beneficial for the sweep. You know what I'm saying? Which I know they ain't gonna let it sweep because they don't make money with a sweep. Because I don't even, when the last time you seen somebody get swept? Did y'all get swept? Y'all got swept. I got gentlemen sweep. That's what I'm saying. You usually get a gentleman. You know what I mean? You don't really see them many 4-0s. I don't think it was a 4-0 this week. Was it a 4-0 anywhere?
Nope.
You see what I'm saying?
I think everybody
at least 1-1. You feel what I'm saying? So you don't really see them many sweeps. So, and that's to jump into the next series. when we got going on with OKC and Indiana, everybody talking OKC and 4. Like everybody saying it's like heads over heels. Like it's not, because everybody was basically saying like everybody in the East was playing for second. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to say it for me, but I think that everybody had, I'm saying outside of myself, felt like Boston was the best out of them they could have played for, but now they saying the matchup between the Indiana and New York, they were playing for second. You know what I mean? So what you think about that?
To be honest.
So you give anybody in the East chance?
Yeah. I gave Indiana a chance. I told you it was gonna be Indiana and OKC.
So right now, what's your call? What you think? What's your call? What's your prediction?
I'm with Indiana, but I don't know. I think OKC has more depth in the paint.
I don't know. I think they match up perfectly.
Because you got to keep in mind, like, they had Siakam playing center a little. Now, I understand that they have Miles Turner to go against old boy for OKC, but the other 7-foot white guy that they have, I don't see another 7-footer for Indiana against him. You see what I'm saying?
It's
That's why I was saying what I was saying. Now, Indiana has a lot of bodies to throw out there, but I only know of one 7-footer. See, I come in 6'10", you know what I'm saying?
It's your boy, that came from the Lakers. Thomas Bryant.
I haven't seen him. I did playoff.
Yeah, he hit 3 threes the other night.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, they got him at 6'10". Okay.
16,
so yeah, he hit three. He hit 3. I know he hit 3 threes the other night in the game.
Now, unless one of the guys for OKC is 6'10".
I think Cheddar Livis.
Both of them was 7 foot.
Yeah, I think Cheddar Livis. I think Chet is a legit 7 foot. I don't know about Hartenstein.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think Hartenstein was 6'10", 6'11", you know what I mean?
Okay, well, that's still,
They still trees, you know what I mean? But I still think with the way Indiana plays defense, and especially being that they're a scrappy team, that you know that you can put them down 20, no matter how much time left.
I'm excited for it,
it's gonna be
both
a good
play
one.
defense. They both pretty good offensively. They both like to run the floor. So, I mean, it's all about who makes the shots and who turns the ball over the most, in my opinion.
I'm going to say this, and you heard it here first from your boy. The only thing that's going to dictate this goddamn series is how they referee goddamn Shea. I don't care about nothing else in this series. I don't care. If the foul merchant gets his way, it's OKC in 6. Well, if Indiana can stay out of that right there, I'll say it's Indiana in 7.
Well, as physical as they have been allowing them to play, I think that it's even Steven. Because, see, going on, I understand what you're saying about that, D. You know what I'm saying? About him getting the fouls all the time. But I'm one of the ones where I'm so like positive about the depth of Indiana. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got so many bodies that they can throw at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really don't matter about him getting so many calls, in my opinion. Because, see, one man ain't going to beat you. Yeah, he might get the shots, but it's the rest of the team. Now, if they getting off, then that's when it's scary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I feel like...
But if he the only one getting off and everybody kind of struggling, missing their shots, blah, 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 they in some trouble.
Because I agree with you, because I know OKC can put you out, you know what I mean? But I feel like a lot of their play and what benefits what they do is, playing hard, and they play, real aggressive defense, and they get points off turnovers in the transition.
I just feel Shea looks as good as what he does when the folk around him. Like, of course, he going to get you a good 20 points, but when he go to getting 30 and more, that's because everybody else around him is having a decent night, and the floor is wide open for him to do what he does inside out. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna.
When they ain't doing nothing, they can close that lane down. You know what I'm saying?
Now I'm gonna disagree on that just a little. I said when he get to 30 the only way Shea Gilgeous-Alexander gets to 30 points if he has double-digit free throw attempts. Period. He will not put. I'm gonna have to go back and look, but it's been a while since I seen him put 30 from the floor,
Just
like 30
straight up.
shots
I got
without me adding the free throw points as well.
I got
You know what I mean? So he's had some bad games. Of course, they lost games in the playoffs, and I feel like those games, if you go look at him, is he has single digit free throw attempts. Because if they're not giving them that call, that shoulder call, in which him and Brunson, kind of made popular, those are the two most popular, I feel like, free throw merchants, or, what I'm saying, free throw gods that
Man,
you got going on right now, bro.
Speaking of Brunson, that's a dirty dude, man.
Be some headbutt, bro, in the face.
That's what I was just finna say, man. You gonna headbutt this dude all because he playing good defense on you?
Bro, I didn't show. I don't know
You
if I
got
said
that frustrated?
I'm gonna go back and show it to you.
That's
It was a
some
couple
dirty
of them.
shit,
Bro, he grabbed, but what you'll see, he'll go down the court. Dude was trying to just check him, bro. He literally grabbed hold of his hand and lifted up and made him hit him in the face, and they called a foul. He literally called a foul because he had his hand. He armbarred dude hand against him and lifted up with his own hand, and he hit it and flopped back, and they called a foul. That's why I said with him, man, and I can see, and you noticed it just like I noticed it. When Nembhard and Nate Smith started playing that real hard defense on him, he started getting frustrated. He get real frustrated. He be ready to fight. He be ready to do all that little other stuff. He go to backing down. He want to throw the shoulder, head,
You know why they ain't
he get real mad.
You know why they ain't call it head, but
He would have got kicked out of the game. That'd have been a flagrant too. And he would have to miss the next second game himself.
He already had so many fouls.
Yeah, he would have been out of there.
He would've been out.
And I don't care what nobody say. Cat be doing the same thing, and that's his problem.
Oh, he
stupid fouls and arm hooking in early. He do stupid fouls when he don't have to get fouls. He get at least 2 idiot fouls every game.
But you know why?
He big and slow.
No. What is his MO?
Big and slow.
No, big and soft.
Oh yeah, that's why I call him Big Cat. Cause there's big dogs in the playoffs, bro. Cause ain't no cats down there, bro.
He is.
Oh my God.
He is the perfect fit for New York because he reminds me so much of Patrick
Ewing, bro.
Soft.
And can't get 2 foot off the ground, bro. If you had 1 foot up in the air. Yeah. That same little thing. Only thing about him and different than Patrick Ewing is that Patrick Ewing, of course, back then you weren't allowed to. Don't shoot that many threes.
Well,
that's when he cooking is when his 3 dropping.
No, I think the biggest thing is Cat. He will boom on a nigga.
When?
Well, he did it a couple of times in this series here where he came down quick. Because there was one where he boomed on a nigga and he flexed on him and looked down on him because he was on the floor.
I think that was one. Because I didn't see him get posted.
I remember this one exactly because I thought he was going to get like a
tick.
Taunting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, they'll get him do it because they know he ain't, like people say, you ain't going to get no punks for beating up somebody who ain't.
But the thing
gonna
about
fight
it is,
back.
like I said, Big Cat, like I said, he is a little bit more physical.
Big Garfield.
He's a little bit more physical than Patrick Ewing.
I don't know about that one, bro. Pat Ewing played with them real knees. I'm gonna have to tell you, he played with Xavier McDaniel. I don't know about that one. But I didn't see Pat Ewing punch motherfucker in the face.
But all them were more of enforcers than Pat, though.
But Patrick I didn't seen him fight.
It's like handle that.
But have you not watched and seen him throw some blows? I ain't never seen that motherfucker throw nothing but tantrums if he don't get no foul. Oh my God, that's the only thing I ever seen him do. I done seen.
I seen him choke a nigga out.
No.
I seen him choke a nigga out.
No.
He did.
Who?
His teammate.
Yeah, trying to get him from getting choked out. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, no.
He choked his own damn teammate.
So that's why I'm saying New York are not, they're built to be what they have always been. Consistently inconsistent, get your hopes up and let you fall flat. That's what they've been doing for the last 50 years. You know what I'm saying? They just like a bitter black woman. 50 years, no ring.
Stop.
50 years and don't have a ring and still complaining and wonder why. But, I digress. But also I want to bring up about basketball, man. I want to know your thoughts about this.
Hold on before you do. Hold on before you go to no.
I'm still in basketball. Still in basketball. I ain't going out of basketball.
Okay.
What do you feel about the end of the era with the NBA, inside the NBA, though?
What you mean inside the NBA? Talking
with
about the
with
actual-
Chuck now, man, the Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Because that was basically the end of that. But I think they said they're gonna have something. They're gonna have something together. Or something.
I think something is going on. Something is brewing because it's a lot of little shows pertaining to ESPN that are just getting cut. Period. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Oh, I told you
because of so many people getting paid so much, but they're actually kind of like cutting back on the shows, man.
Remember, I told you we talked about. I told you about
combine them instead of
pardon the interrupt, not pardon the interruption, but
yeah, you told me
not pardon. I couldn't even think of the show then. But the one with the points, they shut that off. But I told you that because this all speculation and everything. They were saying that ESPN was losing money because ESPN is owned by Disney. You know what I mean? So that's why you get Disney Plus, you get ESPN all that for free. So after with COVID, what did to Walt Disney? You know what I mean? How much money they lost, and how many days they had to be empty with the parks. And
I mean, they
being
probably
closed.
lost some money, but they still were jumping.
Bro, jumping with what?
What you mean with what?
If think about it, what Disneyland it was. If you think about how much money they were making per day, and bro, we was talking about months where nobody could walk in the building. So think about how much money you lost when you get.
Oh, because I know. No.
Disneyland closed.
They did not close that. No. During COVID.
So you think Disneyland was just open?
Not the whole. No, they weren't closed the whole time.
I didn't say they were closed the whole time.
That's my point. That's why I say they might have missed some money, but they didn't miss that much.
Man, you know how much they make a day?
That's my point. That's my point, though, D. That's like. I mean, I understand what you're saying. If they were closed like a year, that hurt them for real. But Disneyland is like,
bro. This says Disneyland closed for a year.
Okay, that's my point. But what I'm saying is this: keep in mind, Disneyland is the only amusement park that you know of that's open year round, though. You feel what I'm saying?
Six Flags. Six Flags
they ain't. Six Flags ain't open year round. They close in the winter time.
It's for a very short time, though.
But I'm just saying year round, D. That's all I'm
Only
saying.
the ones over here.
Disneyland is
the one in California and on the West Coast.
Florida.
They don't close.
In Florida, neither.
I'm talking about the ones in Disneyland where they don't get cold at. They don't close. Like in California, no, they don't close. We close because of weather. They don't close because there's no weather over there.
Florida don't close, bruh.
You talking about Disneyland?
Yeah, they don't close.
I'm talking about Six Flags over on the other sides of the world because they close over here when it gets cold. That's Six Flags. That's why I was saying. I know we had brought up Six Flags.
It's a lot of Six Flags, but Six Flags still closed though. D, like most of them, they close. Yeah, you might if they got one in California. Yeah, they might not stay open. But it get cold in Texas. They close.
Said Disneyland lost $4.3 billion, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
But you gotta look how much they make though in a year. Like, look, they missed out on that much. But I'm just saying though, they've been open consistently for so many years. That's what I'm saying. That's chump change to them.
But then you gotta remember, once it did reopen, it only reopened back up to 25% capacity.
Yeah, because they can only have so many in
right.
at a
So
time.
remember, you're not going back after losing $4.3 billion. I mean, you're not going back to making that money at that rate.
Chomp chomp.
So I'm gonna say,
Chomp chomp.
for the amount of money that they have to spend, and I definitely want to touch on this. I'm gonna do a little bit more research. So I can touch on it. I think because if you look at the story that I'm talking about, that's why they're trying to set their office on ESPN now to try to get more people to watch it, because like I kept saying, because the cable providers like DirecTV, Spectrum, Charter, and whatever was in your areas had made cable so high, nobody has cable. Everybody had cable when we were kids. Why? It was affordable. It was $34.99, $29.99. If you had the big package, you paying maybe $79. So guess what? Everybody had cable.
Well, cable is a ripoff because most of the time,
it's too many damn channels. Shit.
no, it's not too many channels. My biggest gripe is most people are at work at least 8 to 10 hours out the day. So you can't watch TV any fucking way.
But bro, you can't say that because one
price
of the
that
longest
you're
running.
charging don't even match the amount of electricity we use to actually watch TV.
No,
you know
it's going back to the point I'm making. You getting charged not because of electricity, because of the amount of channels. That's why I said once you added all the channels, notice we were only getting 60, 70 channels. Wasn't no 1,000. Wasn't no music channels. Wasn't all these extra damn reality TV channels and all that. That shit didn't exist. It was one BET. Bro, we basically watched 5 channels: USA, TNT, TBS, BET, VH1, MTV, Fox 6, 3340, 13, and 6 to 8. That was it. You watched everything in your damn life in them channels. Outside of ESPN when that came in, because that's when you had to start having cable to watch stuff, was to watch it on ESPN. Because all the rest of stuff that you could watch it on your regular little click, click, click. That's why you don't have no viewership like you used to, man, because you watch 10 channels. Now it's 13,000 channels. Direct, man, you got Discovery Channel, this channel, that channel. This channel got 3 extra channels that goes with that. We even got stuff we watching that's on Stars and all that extra stuff that don't even come on cable no more. That's a whole extra package. So think about it, man. To watch football this season, man, you probably got to have about 5 subscriptions. You got to have Amazon if you don't watch it on Thursday or you shout. They finna start putting some on Yahoo or something. Well, I think or something like that. I mean, Netflix or something, ain't it? Yeah. They Netflix getting a piece of it. So you finna have to have Netflix to watch it. So it's like now it's made to watch.
Point. It's more folk with Hulu and Netflix than it is actually folk with cable now.
Because cable costs $125, $200. Netflix $20. That go back to my point. Cable was accessible. It was inexpensive, but you got the bang for your buck because everything was on one. You didn't even, unless you wanted Cinemax, Showtime, and all that other stuff, you didn't even have to have the extra package to watch nothing.
But the thing about it is you got to have it now if you are actually, well, no, you don't have to have it now because of the stream. But it came about because of people falling in love with a sport to the point where, okay, I want to watch football or basketball or baseball outside of my region. You know what I'm saying?
But I think
that's where all that came into play, D. So it's like, I mean, you got to pay to play.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, that's when the
if you want to be able to watch, like all the good games of the Pac-10 don't reach down south,
right? Because it's not in that area.
Main name.
Because we ain't gonna really want to watch them. Because why? We don't give a damn about watching the Pac-10. We want to watch SEC games.
Some do though. Some people like football so much where they want to see.
Yeah, like us, we watching football.
That's my point though. D is more of us than what you think.
No, so I believe that. I'm agreeing with you on that.
That's another reason why it's going up. That's why it went up, rather. You know what I'm saying? Because of the regional. It's like you got to have a channel for each one of these motherfucking games that come on.
Okay, the only reason I'm going to say, I'm going to contradict.
You got ABC showing UCLA and USC.
Mm-hmm. And it's only going to show you on ABC that's in your area for what you watch.
See what I'm saying? Then you might have that late night 10 o'clock game that might show somebody that's a big game for that region that night. You know
but you're going to get that game because there's no game in our region that night.
But if there is a game coming on that night,
it's out because you got to think about the late game
you want to watch.
It's out of the time zone
on TV.
It's out of the time zone because any game that come on at 10 o'clock is a West Coast game. Our games are off by that time.
But it don't matter. You want to watch it.
Right, so you're going to get that game. Remember, think about it, ESPN.
That's why they charge us so much.
No, listen, I'm going to say this. Check this out. All right. Now, you know I worked when I used to deal with the Red TV. Now, when it comes to the only time regional.
That's why I didn't want to get on there because I knew it was going to lead to something else.
I'm just going to tell you how the regional part works when it comes to what you can see. Now, baseball is the hardest one that you deal with the most with of it because some of it's been purchased by a certain conglomerate. So if you don't buy it through them, you can't see it. Now, football is a lot different. So a lot of people in LA that can't even watch Dodger games because you got to have this specific channel. And I can't think of the channel because I ain't been there so long. Because I had to deal with so many people calling like, oh, I can't watch the Anaheim Angels, and they stay in Anaheim. But you had to because they done sected it off where they put it all into one package. So if you don't buy this package, you can't even watch your team. So it's because certain people buying them off and only making it where you can only watch it here. So your cable providers has made it hard for you to watch it because they're saying, okay, I want to make you watch my channel, so I'm going to buy all those rights to those games and make it to where you only can watch it on my channel. So that's what makes everything change. It's not the fact that people can't watch it, because people will pay the $9 or because it's usually like a $9 or a $15 fee extra if you're paying for it on cable. Most traditional people, if you say, okay, then when you first call in to get cable, they say, okay, it's gonna be another $9. They probably gonna bitch, but they gonna pay it. You know what I mean? So that's what the thing is. It's like you have the ACC channel, Big East channel, Pac-10 channel, but some of those channels gone because the league's gone. But you have to have a big package to get that, because the basic package don't get the SEC channel. So you're going to have, you know what I'm saying, they're going to put it up there, so you ain't going to get like everything. You'll get the basic ESPN, because as you can see, you see how ESPN had tightened down? Used to have ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN Zone, ESPN College. They play, Classic. You had ESPN this, they only played that. So I do see ESPN downsizing though. Big time. So I just think that the viewership still gonna be good, but I think that this series, just get back to what we're talking about. This series still gonna be decent to watch as long as they don't turn into a free throw shooting contest. Because if it turns into a free throw shooting contest, it's not gonna be watchable. It's not gonna be watchable. That's just my opinion. But hey, that's just me. But hey, I got Indiana in 6. That's my opinion when it comes to that one. So y'all let us know what y'all got, man. I know you Knicks fans are sick. Womp womp. But let us know who y'all got, because I have Indiana in 6. What you got?
I told you I got Indiana.
So that's what I got in reference to it. So I wanted to ask you this. I don't know if we ever talked about this. We may have the 100 dudes against the gorilla thing.
I don't even want to talk about that stupid ass shit.
So my question is,
like, that's got to be the stupidest fucking question. Like, dude, like niggas got to like do their research before they even entertain it. Like, they said a silverback gorilla can, like, if it were to bench press, it could bench press 4,000 pounds.
I agree.
The motherfucker, like, one gorilla has the strength of 10, like, bodybuilding type niggas. You know what I'm saying? Not 10 niggas my size, not 10 niggas your size.
10 niggas bigger than me.
10 niggas, like, been on steroids for half their life and weigh like 300 pounds and go to the gym twice a day.
All day.
That's
beefcake.
Like,
yeah.
Like,
I'm with you, bro.
Like, if, like, they had on, because, see, you know how it is. They put it out there. I've seen it on IG. And, of course, people go to breaking down facts about gorillas.
Yeah.
They were saying that if a gorilla grabs a human,
they crush your face, bro.
With
just your
his
hand,
fingers, with his fingers, like his grip with his fingers, like
they can like crush your face, like if
it grabs your arm, his fingers can like literally go through the bones in your arm. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so strong. So it's like, we're not even talking about biting. You feel me?
Oh, no, because you got to get through the skin.
Hey, I'm
and
talking
they got
about
that hump
them
on their back, too,
no,
bro.
I'm talking about them biting you, because that's part of fighting, nigga.
Bro,
like,
them motherfuckers ain't got to bite you. Them motherfuckers got claws longer than your fingers.
And that's another thing. They said 100 men. They did not say that these men could have a gun. They did not say
no, they
could have
said,
a knife. You didn't
they was
have
no
a
hands.
stick.
You gotta
have bare hands.
Bare
nigga.
hands. Bare
You know what I'm
hands.
saying?
Bro, listen.
Man, stop.
Bro, let me tell you something. I done watched enough National Geographic Explorer videos, Discovery Channel. Well, I done watched 2 fucking gorillas fight. I done watched 2 gorillas. Bro, I done watched one of them big 3,000-4,000 pound motherfucker can't do nothing with that. So, bro, now, if you put 100 cats together, now, by weight, depending on how big and by weight of they are. So if you put 100, let's say you put 100 Brock Lesnar's out there. Everybody Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
The only way y'all can beat this nigga, and I mean this shit, You got to all be hanging above this motherfucker where he just standing there.
And
they just drop all of y'all at one time.
It still ain't gonna work.
That's the only way. That's the only thing. You get what I'm saying?
He's still gonna power.
But you see what I'm saying? You gonna have to all be able to cover, like fall down on him, cover him down. That's the only chance it's shot.
It's just like what them folks say. Whoever grab them the one that gonna get messed up the worst, and everybody else running.
I say this: if you can
everybody else running, man.
If you can get like I said, you get them in the net at the top, and you can get. See, the hardest part is the saying is that can you get all 100 cats? Because you got to look at it. 100 dudes. And if we talking Brock Lesnar, we talking 100 dudes at 250 pounds. So think about the numbers we talking about. We talking about 250 pounds times 100. Dog, that is 25,000 pounds right there. So if you can get 25,000 pounds on him at one time, 10 of y'all gonna die. We know that. The first 2-3 years, we gonna have to hope that he gonna get hungry and die.
It's gonna be more than that, D.
I say he killed 20, but you still got 80 more.
Once he get going, he ain't stopping until they all down. Like, that's just that animal instinct. See, it's a difference in...
I think we got a better chance.
It's a difference in human survival mode and animal survival mode. You dig what I'm saying? We not talking about one of them silverback gorillas from the Birmingham Zoo looking like it's about
I'm talking
80
about,
years old.
I'm talking about King Kong, motherfucker. I'm talking about that woo, some bitch. I'm talking about him. But if you get 25,000 on him, shit, we got a chance.
I got my money on
silverback. I got the money on the silverback. Man, but I'm saying, I think we got a chance.
Hey, man. I grew up watching Dragon Ball.
Come on, man.
Fuck
now, what y'all think? I know y'all done heard, but I'm going to just say, I think we got a chance. I'm not saying we win.
Man, we ain't got a pro.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. So, that's just my point when I say that. You know what I'm saying? So.
I can't believe you brought that shit up.
I'm just saying, man.
Man, because we were talking about that shit at the shop. Shout out to fellas at the shop. Big up to Stanley, because he brought that shit up, man. You know, he was basically saying the same shit you were saying.
That's
if you go and get a whole bunch of big niggas like
you big
niggas
strong,
look like in the WWE bodybuilders, world stronger man.
Somebody
we got a chance.
You got a chance.
But I was telling him, I was like, I don't know about that,
Slim.
man. I don't know. Man, he said he saw where a lion tried to man up on the gorilla. He said that gorilla tossed that lion around like it was just a little puppy, like a little shih tzu. Like, I'm just telling you, man, like, not only are we thinking about how strong we are, we're not how strong it is, but we're not thinking about the intelligence of these motherfuckers.
It's just like you, but he's stronger than you.
Like, they ain't just like us, but they ain't that far off. You feel what I'm saying?
Bro,
that's what I'm saying,
you
man.
You gonna watch him, bro? You watch him enough, bullshit.
Man, look, man.
Bullshit. Okay, not like us, but they have human-type interaction.
You
know
man.
what I'm saying?
I done seen these motherfuckers like, at the zoo doing certain shit like push-ups. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, man, like...
No, I done seen them like how you have a mama gorilla sitting there with and they'll see a mother come up to the glass with their baby,
right,
and they come up to the mother and try to show them their baby,
right?
Because they can tell that's a baby.
They know.
See, that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, they do real human interactions. So I'm saying they smart as the mud. But what I'm saying is, if you can get the right type of cast, and it has to happen in the right order, because the people in the front got to know they dead. The first 20, y'all got to go ahead and sign off. You out of here. But I think it's 30 left at the end.
You better not be 99, because I'm telling you.
I ain't one. I'm on doing sideline commentary, but I ain't in it.
I think everybody getting fucked up.
I don't know about that one, bro.
Man, I'm telling you now, because that one thing about it, look, once they get riled up, them folk tell you that when them animals get riled up like that, them type of animals, you better get down on the ground and act like you dead if you ain't.
Yeah, I get with that.
If you don't act like you dead good enough, they gonna make sure you is. They gonna pound on your ass like for real.
But I still say,
like, ain't no way in the world, man.
I still say
everybody going down because they can sense fear. They can sense it.
But what I'm saying is this. I believe they can sense fear. I believe all that is being entailed is this. But we got to realize, this is what I'm going to say is this point. It all depends on how fast he take care of everybody because, be honestly, just like a human, a bear has an energy level that's going to go down because I've watched them fight bears. 3,500, that's 3,000 pounds, 4,000 pounds. And eventually it slows because it's a lot of weight.
But D, keep in mind now. Keep in mind that she go both ways. Because when he get through mauling them first...
After he done ate 2-3 of them motherfuckers, he going to be slow too.
When he get through mauling the first 10 to 15 of them, the rest of them 75,
they can't run.
80,
We ain't running.
They gonna move back.
They still coming.
They gonna be scared. They ain't no still coming.
I'm talking about.
Ain't no still coming.
No, you know how the motherfuckers when you know when Thanos hit it.
Ain't no still coming.
Do you remember when Thanos hit his motherfucking hand and the motherfuckers started coming? That's how them niggas coming like that. You know, I know you remember that motherfucker shit.
You talking that shit. That's why you don't want to be one of them 100.
I ain't gonna be now one of them.
Be one of them 100.
Man,
Don't be no sideline coach.
Man, I'm gonna be a sideline commentator.
No, going on.
Ain't no way.
It's just as easy as what you saying.
No,
it's real simple.
I'm not Brock Lesnar. I remember I said we talking about Brock Lesnar.
But you
that ain't me.
But you the coach.
The coach on the sideline.
You got all the great ideas.
That's why you gotta be on the sideline.
That's why you 99.
No, I'm 101.
No, you are.
How would they move 101 Dalmatian? I'm 101.
You gonna be in there.
I'm 101 Dalmatian, baby. I'm gonna be on this side. Cause you remember,
everybody who think a human,
you remember 300
human can whoop that gorilla.
I ain't said whip him. I said had a chance.
If you think they got a chance, you get your ass in there.
No, I'm the one that's gonna let you know what to do.
Now, if you saying no, just like my boy D here,
I said hell no.
That let you know we ain't got a chance.
Nope, I just know I ain't the one to do it. I'm gonna make sure y'all in a better position because I know I'm not that fella.
No, because if I know
I used to be. I ain't him that no more.
No,
but
ain't nobody ever.
So you remember the person that I remember that dude at 300?
Mike Tyson lied when he said he'll do
it. Hell no. You remember when the dude on 300, the little like white guy who had the voice was talking like this? You remember they say they had to send somebody back to make sure the story could be told? Remember Leonard said, you go and tell that if 300 men fought here, I'm going to go and tell that 100 motherfuckers stop fighting.
Nah, you part of the 300.
Hell no.
You part of the 300.
No, sir. But
no.
We going to let that happen.
Oh.
No, sir. But as we do, as always, and I hate to say it, we have come to another end of another episode of Cutting Up with ya boy.
Yeah.
Anything else you got, my boy?
One thing I got is, we ain't got that long till we get a little football action going on. You know what I'm saying? We already got OTAs for the NFL. A
big up Saquon Barkley on the Madden cover.
Most people have been showing up. Even if they aren't like fully working out, but they are coming to camp to actually support the team and make sure they encourage everybody to keep pushing in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? Won't be long to college. Actually, they report. You know what I'm saying? I think they report in about another month. So, by the time the NBA Finals is over,
we got about a week left of that.
We'll be in the thick of things when it comes to football, But I'm excited about the NFL. I love college football by me being from the South, but I'm a diehard NFL fan. It's just something about grown men. It's like everybody up there is big, everybody up there is fast, everybody up there is strong. Everybody up there is actually good. You know what I'm saying?
I guess I'm a little different on that one because I'm a little partial to college because I feel like college, everything means something. You know what I mean? So every game really comes down to meaning something. And I think, next time we'll go over and get into the, what has changed in a lot more depth with the college structure, with the playoff and things like that. I think
college will be more interesting.
I think they're
devaluing.
But I think they're devaluing the conference champion.
Well, the thing about it is getting devalued because it's not going to be another dynasty. In my opinion.
No, I think it's devaluing the game when you don't get
champion every year.
I believe that because of the structure, but I don't believe that I believe they're devaluing the conference championship game when you don't get anything for being a conference champion.
Well, they said they're gonna change that.
You know, they already did it. You know what I mean? You know, they changed it now because you knew you got the 4 slots. Now you no longer get a bye week, you just straight 12. So, you know, we'll get into it. But again, like we said, we come to another end of the episode. And of course, like we always say, like, share, subscribe, touch the notifications on so you know when we cutting up. And for any questions that you got on there, let us know who your picks is, who picks are from OKC or Indiana. Let us know what you got. You know, heard what we got. Let us know. And until then, holla at your boy.
Peace.